Alright, so uh, halfway through my chest workout, feeling pretty good. I was trying to find the words to say in that first video. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is I really don't like negative people at this point. I mean, I sounded like a broken record over 2 years ago. Again, like I said, yesterday was my ex's birthday. I'm still talking about it 4 years later, or 3 years later, I should say. It's because I decided to reach out to her thinking that we could be friends. My whole point in that is I talked about it for so long, and the advice I got from certain people, they're hypocrites. Hypocrisy. You know, I don't have time for that. If you're going to be telling me to live my life this way, then you need to apply it to your life as well, because I deal with a family like that. But I'm done talking about that, because I don't want anything to do with two of my family members. Everyone else is fine. It's just two of them, because they're embarrassed by the mistakes that I've made, yet they don't look at themselves in the mirror and say, oh, well, you know, at least he's owning up and he's being a man about it. Maybe we should, you know, not follow in his footsteps, but maybe take a little bit of his advice and apply what we say to him to our lives. My whole point is that negative people suck, and it doesn't matter who it is. I mean, I had a supervisor over 2 years ago try to use a 1 month sobriety coin to try to say that he had 10 years of sobriety when it was 1 month. It was 1 month, and I hate to say it, you know, I have two supervisors that have been like that in my life, and it's because they have nothing else to go on, to fall back on, you know, so they try to get recognition for crap that's not even important. You know, they try to say this, they try to say that, or think that, you know, they're living by example, or that everybody needs to follow what they're doing. But that's not the case. Everybody in life is different. We all go through the cycles, the drama, whether we cause it or whether it's caused on us because of karma. Whatever it is, there is no right or wrong way to living my life or anybody's life in general. You know, um, I don't like that. I don't like that, because I've had to deal with a family so much who doesn't live by their own words that they say or that they've been trying to preach to me. I mean, like I said before in one of my other videos, my uncle was so ashamed about what I caused for myself. He's telling me to be quiet, but it's like, come on, man. Like, what have you done for yourself in the last 40, 50 years you've been alive? You've been a janitor at Sippy this entire time or whatever, and you're dating someone or whatever who was 13 when you were 26. And she makes more money than you. So don't even try to jump on my case. And my older cousin, you know, he's had everything handed to him, plain and simple. Him and his friend, you know, a couple years ago or 3 years ago, were trying to bully me. You know, like, oh, well, you need to stop your drinking and this and that, you know, and na. But it's like, how is it that you guys are gonna try to say something to me like that, and you're trying to start a fight in my mom's house, let alone a house that's not even yours? You know, I don't get this fired up. But I had a conversation. This is the exact conversation I had with my best friend a couple nights ago. You know, whole point is negative people suck. It's fine to talk about your life. It's fine to talk about problems that's bothering you. It's just, I've learned in the last 2 years, 4 years in general, if I don't do anything to change it, then I just sound like a broken record. And I'm done sounding like a broken record. I mean, I made it through yesterday. I'm here today finishing my chest workout. It's going to be a new week, and I have a long year to finish my probation. Again, I don't... Hypocrisy, hypocrites, people who just think they're leading by example and they're not taking a chance or seeing for a moment to think outside of the box of their own world. I don't have room for that. And just negative people suck. They just do. And it's not because you know, we're bad people or we think that we're better than them. It's just when you're trying to get your life together, like I'm really trying to right now, I don't have time for negativity. I don't have time to be carrying other people's problems or try to make their problems better because of my situation. As I said, I don't have no kids. I've never been married. I'm going through life in my own way. Again, marriage and kids is not a bad thing. It's just for me, in my situation, God has made it clear that I'm not ready for those things. I'm not ready for those things, and I get that. I can do whatever I want with my life right now. It's just I don't have time for hypocrites. I don't have time for negative people. I don't have time for anyone to be guilt tripping me. And it's true what they say. Those kind of people keep the connection with you because they want to find a way back in, and they will push your buttons and they will do whatever it is they can to try to get that old you back out. There's three people in my life right now that I had to cut off because of those things. It sucks, it's just I don't have time. I don't have time for that. And yeah, again, one of them was my ex, and I thought we could have been friends because somewheres in my mind, I thought maybe that we could have gone from being friends to having an understanding to trying to get back together. That was my idiotic thinking, but that's not the case. I don't have time for that. All I have time for is to continue to work on myself, have the supportive system that I've always had, and continue to put the Lord's word and his spirit in this path that I have now. Because if I could do it alone, I wouldn't be here. Like I said, I still be an exchange banker at the Downs or whatever, miserable, probably with a kid, or probably paying alimony out of my butt to an ungrateful person. Again, those two things aren't bad. Somehow, some way, people make it work. Just for me, I knew I couldn't make it work. And that's just what I want to say. It's nice to have the word of the Lord in my life. It's just I can't always rely on that. I have to do the work. Like I said in my first video, I had somebody from rehab call me out on that. And all I told him was like, hey man, stop using the word of God so much and just, say, hey, this is what's going on. And, put a little bit of the gospel in it. That's what I learned tonight when I went to Calvary. Share my story, put a little bit of the gospel in there. That's it. And it's like, if you don't confront those problems, or I should say, if I don't confront these problems, close a lot of these doors and, confront a lot of these feelings, and I'm just setting myself up to fail again. And I can't do that. I can't do that. And these videos that I make, they're not intended to tell anybody how to live their life. That's not what they're intended to do. They're just intended to try to help somebody in any way possible. And there is a way back to all of this. As I've learned, I have to continue to do the work with both of my bare hands. And having a support system and having the Lord back in my life are the two greatest things to happen to me. And not having a kid and not getting married to an ungrateful person are the greatest, and I mean the greatest things to never happen to me. Because I'd be miserable still, I'm sure. And I had said that to my best friend last night, or I should say Thursday, when I talked with him. If I decided to stay as an exchange banker and get through all of that, I'd be miserable. I wouldn't be here in the iron paradise. I wouldn't be here lifting, trying to get better, trying to make myself look healthy for me, not anybody else. I wouldn't be doing this now. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and finish my chest workout, and I'll make one more video before I go. That's just what I wanted to clarify from the first video. Negative people suck. If you're dealing with hypocrites, do your best to cut them out of your life. Because as I'm learning, if I allow those people back in my life, then I'm making excuses, and I can't do that. Just like tonight, I'm so tired. As you can tell, the bags underneath my eyes and everything, I'm tired. It's just, that's how I get better, getting all this negative energy out of my body, and everyone's in charge of their own actions. My only piece of advice is, if you give those people excuses to come back in your life, then you've already lost. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm not judging you. I've made those mistakes. I did. I have. I'm just saying, walking more in the spirit has done wonders for me than walking in the flesh. And it's a lot easier said than done. It's just, it's worth it. You know, and I want everybody in my life, whether it's personally and in real life that I actually get to see, from my friends on Facebook to anybody that I've ever come across, I want them to be successful. I want the best for them. It's just they have to be willing to go after it and get it after themselves. Because trying to tell people that they need to think this way or this works, or if you don't do this then you're gonna fail, that's not right. That's not helping anybody. That's just forcing them to live your dreams and expectations, which is something I've done because of my mom's side of the family. However, in these last 4 years, I've accepted all of them except for two. And again, these videos aren't meant to tell anybody how to live their lives. They're just meant to try to help in some way, because this whole world is going to crap. And in the end, it's better to try to help somebody than hoard knowledge and be selfish. So I'm going to finish my chest workout, and I'll see you guys here in the next hour and a half. So you guys have a good night.